Let's freeze our opponents out of the game with Manastorm Freeze Mage. The idea behind this is we're going to be gaining a ton of armor through things like Sleet Skater, then finishing off our opponent with a bunch of direct damage through copying both Sunset Volley and Galactic Projection Orb, while discounting them all with DJ Manastorm. Now, for the Mulligan guide of the deck. Look out for Arcane Artificer so you can easily gain a bunch of armor really early on. If you see one of your 10 cost spells, keep Audio Splitter, but otherwise don't. The Excavating package is also incredibly strong to keep, along with Infantizing the Maxitude in order to get additional resources to clear out your opponent's board, and Primal Glyph as a way to get cheap spells early on. Finally, if you know your opponent is playing some type of wide board base deck, Star Power is great to keep too. Now, with that all being said, let's get some game. Okay, time for a game against Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is a matchup that I am a little bit scared of for a few reasons. I will say, for my initial versions where I wasn't running the Excavating package, I think this version feels a lot better than that version did, just because you do have ways to freeze your opponent's face without randomly generating them, right? Also, if the 5-drop in our hand actually could target our opponent's face, even if it didn't give us armor for the turn, that would be so nice. I know like that they probably don't want to do something like that, but that would be such an easy buff to the card. Just make it allow you to hit your opponent's face. Then you have the trade-off between hitting your opponent's face or gaining armor, right? The replay that I sadly lost by not recording it was a game where I gained about 200 armor because of Slate Skater. Targeting one of my opponent's Ziliacs that doubles the attack every turn. Turns out, if you can just keep freezing it turn after turn after turn, your opponent can't do anything, and they're just eventually going to say goodbye, and then you're eventually going to destroy it yourself. So.
Is this really better than nothing?
Draw. Also, I know Viper might not be a good card in the list, but you know, you run into enough people with weapon-based decks, and you're just like, screw it. We're going to include something that will definitely counter that. Spirit of Team is such an annoying card because it has 3 HP, making it really difficult to get rid of. I say this, and we might actually this turn use Star Power just to get... I don't like doing that, because in my head that sounds really bad. But actually, we can freeze out our opponents. This works better, because they can't use the 2 attack. Would have rather used that later on, but you know, it is what it is. Let's grab this. Also, the initial version ran that card because it is a good 4-drop. Space is the reason. I needed the Excavating package to make this feel a little bit better. I'm also really curious of like how that deck's evolved too. I know my like initial video when Whizbangs came out was basically the deck that is very popular right now in Demon Hunter. I know it's not completely the same because people aren't actually hard running Manaroth, but the fact that I called that, right? Turns out once Paladin got nerfed, the floodgates open for the deck. Ironically enough, I'm kind of amazed that we don't see more Reno decks try to counter that. But again, I guess you have to survive till turn 8. Isn't always the easiest thing to do, especially in this matchup.
One dose solves any.
Also, Miracle Salesman, or whatever it's called, it is amazing to me how that card in the majority of lists does nothing except for allow you to cycle through your deck, and it sees play in so many decks. If you need a 1-drop, it's just your card. It really just is. And if you don't care about like tribal synergies and such, I guess would be the other limitation, or whatever you want to call it. Now that I'm thinking about it, though. Oh wait, no, that's from the other game. Never mind.
That toy was made just for me.
You stick.
I'm the perfect toy for you.
Time grows short. Mysterious. What is your wisdom?
Also, that's such a cool card, by the way. The 1/1 on the board. Well, I mean, there's two 1/1s. I mean, the Observer. Such a neat card. It is a shame that. Well, actually, never mind. Can you imagine that deck having access to Objection? Because the deck we're facing right now is the only deck that will randomly generate that card. I'm very curious if Blizzard will do something with Window Shopper, maybe lower this. No, they'd have to increase the cost.
I'm the perfect toy.
Or make Manoroth not discoverable, I guess. But that's not really the big problem. Like, there's other big demons that you can get off of Window Shopper that are not as annoying, but pretty close to as annoying. But yeah, increase the cost, I think, instantly fixes Window Shopper. And then once you have a new set come out with more demons in it, you unnerf it, right? That's an easy fix. I know a lot of people are very annoyed at that deck. It is a very, very toxic. I will freely admit it to it. Which is why, like, week 1, I was so amazed that no one else was talking about it. Because I had a feeling this deck was going to be, like, actually really relevant, right? Let's freeze and then get rid of the 1/1. I had no proof, but, like, it felt good when I was testing it, at least. Okay, this should guarantee us a, or maybe not. It does guarantee us both blizzards, I guess. I was really hoping we'd get sunset there. We're just going to pass it. They probably will have a response. We actually aren't in a bad position. We do still have above our normal HP pool, weirdly enough. Gained enough armor, and we can keep gaining armor because we have 2 more freezes in hand. And then maybe if we draw into Jeptto, we can get even more. The more I've played with this deck, the less I think Jeptto is probably needed in the list. You probably also don't need the other miniaturized card in the list that I have outside of Sleet Skater. Explosive runes, I know this isn't going to matter, but we can try to make it matter, and we can freeze both out. I keep going for face with that. I know I can't. I legitimately understand I can't, but
It was made just for me.
okay. It's alright. Untargetable Bungus number 1. We do have 3 orbs in hand, and we can see what we can get. Come on, Blizzard. I know we have 1 in hand. Okay, that isn't Blizzard, but some of these down. Actually, thinking about it, we could have also used the 1-drop after we refreshed the 2 mana crystals there.
Really better than nothing.
I'm the perfect toy for you.
Mysterious. What is your wisdom?
We don't have that many cards left in the deck. There is a 2 and I don't know how many cards we have left. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, well, actually, that probably wasn't the play. What we should have done is we should have done Manastorm into that, and then we could have instantly played it down anyways. But depending on how lucky or unlucky we are, we should be able to use 3 of them next turn. That's fine. Wait, we also have... okay, this might be fun. Oh, also we have Jeptto. Nice to see you, bud. I'm amazed people are actually hard running that if they're not hard running Mechtherodon. But please, put it back to sleep so we can easily deal with the board. Can we do 24 damage in a single turn? I think the answer to this question is yes. Alright, it's time for the DJ to pump it up. Let's show the true I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's rock and roll to some fine tunes and turn the volume up more and more as we go on and on and on. The mana refresh is just perfect. Let's put them in a deep freeze because this should be a GG once the animation goes through. Pop, 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 pop. Then 1 to go. We really did turn that music up. Now didn't we, Manastorm? We're storming our way out of the game. Okay, so Druid. Let's see what they have in store for us. I know there's a new Druid deck floating around using the new Aviana, which looked real fun. It was an idea that I thought about doing something with because I was trying to figure out a way to use the new giant that discounts itself for every card you've drawn in a game, and Druid seemed to be a class that you could easily abuse that in, that people weren't looking at. I don't expect it to be something I will cover on the channel. You never know, though. I might try to make my own twist on it. Maybe throw in some of the other giants too, like Mountain Giant and such. Just make a giant Druid deck, I guess. There's actually quite a few fun little decks people have been innovating over the time that I had on my little vacation. Which also is the reason why this video was supposed to be Friday, and then I didn't hit play on the best game that I had with this deck. But you know, well, hopefully some of these other games can make up for that fact. So this doesn't really tell me what we're exactly playing against, because this just looks like Ramp Druid, right? All right, we can shuffle that back into the deck, gain 2 more armor. I'm gonna go with Frostbolt just in case they are like attacking Druid. Let's freeze their face. I know we probably should have freezed their minion. That actually probably would have been the best bet, and then we could have kept gaining armor. Okay, well, hindsight is 20/20, right?
My hour grows.
But I am assuming it is that list because Dragon Tales actually has a small enough pool where you can get Zorami and Druid. That's the most interesting fact about this deck, if it is the deck that I'm thinking it is. And I know here we'll probably not be able to use like any of them. Oh, maybe we will be able to. That actually worked a lot better than I was expecting. Let's freeze the minion this time. And then slam down Audio Splinter. Oh, wait, no, we do have Orb in hand. Never mind. This should clear out the board, and then we can go face. See what luck we can get. Okay. Glyph isn't bad. I also know, like, in theory, we could use... What is it called? It's the 2-drop that is a shadow spell that casts the spell. And one of the earlier versions I was running it, I was also running a bigger, like... Oh, yeah, it is this deck. I figured it was going to be this deck. It does remind me, though, I still haven't used Nemzi in anything. Even though I have a signature rare. Don't ask me why that reminded me of it. I think I saw like a picture of the Aviana signature, and that's what my brain like instantly went to. Just a weird little tangent. I want to do something with Nemzi. I just need to figure out how or why or what I'm going to be doing, right? And there is a reason why pure spell mage just does not work. The quote-unquote big payoff that you have is the new Yogg Jack-in-Box or whatever it's called. It does not feel good. 99% of the time it doesn't feel good. Even if you get the like no minion requirement off. But if you can randomly generate it and then have it in the pool of Galactic Orb, that actually does work pretty well. I will say that.
What do I do with all these cards?
All the cards that we could have burned. Why did it have to be Millhouse? Literally the only card in the deck that I did not want to see burned. Such a pain in the butt. Okay. Oh, 2 freezes. Okay. We can freeze 1. We probably should have done this in the reverse order, actually, thinking about it. That would have been smart, because I don't think there's any protection. Okay, never mind. I guess we don't have to worry about it. I was going to say, I don't think there's any protection for if you already have a minion on your opponent's board frozen and you use something that randomly freezes another thing, it can freeze the same target. It is something that is very easy to make a mistake. And also, giving them 2 0-cost spells. I don't know if that deck's also running Owl, because that could be really, really frightening if they are. There's actually quite a few, like, weird decks that I haven't gotten to that I had originally planned on by now, but, you know. Let's freeze out the board, and then maybe we should have done... no, never mind. Because that does get rid of that, and then we can just keep going face. So I'm assuming they do run Owl. That's such a unique deck, like how many layers it has, right? Because you have the Aviana stuff, you got the Dragon stuff, and then in theory you have Owl if they are running Owl with a little bit of a spell damaging package. It's such a unique, it's a very me deck, I will say. I have a tendency to take a bunch of ideas and shove them together, and actually this deck is a great example because we're what? Mining Mage, we're Manastorm, we're Galactic Orb, and we're Freeze. And technically Elemental, so we're like 5 decks in one. Probably half of the issue with it. I know there's a few cards in the list that we probably should cut, to be fair. If I was cut the cards, there are a few that should be. Great example is the 3-cost Elemental that gives 2 frost spells, but I had so much good luck with that card that I ended up just really, really enjoying it in the list. That also would mean you cut out Jeptto, which is also not another card that I really want to cut. I wanted to do something with him. I don't know if I have any good footage, though, using him. But yeah, I will find some. There is something I really want to try in Druid. I know some people have been trying to do what I'm thinking of in Warrior, and it probably works better in Warrior because of the double battle cry. You could also do it in Shaman. We'll see. Okay. I'll give you a hint of what I'm thinking of. I know I've already done a Shutter Block. Oh wait, never mind. Battle cries can't heroes with it. Never mind. I was going to say Nostalgic Clown with Shutter Block, but then I remembered Shutter Block sadly can't make you do damage to your opponent's face. But too late there, my friend. Too late. Oh no. Anyways, Druid could probably do something with it, which is what I'm kind of looking at. Now, do I think it's a good idea? Probably not, but it would be a funny idea to try, right? Priest, I know, could definitely do it. And Warrior definitely can do it. I feel like there's Rogue, of course, also. Basically, all the classes that I've already done stuff with for this set, except for Druid, can do something with it. Isn't that kind of funny? Sorry for the side tangent, but it is. It's just something that I've had on my mind recently. I guess we could try to do it in Paladin too. Actually, maybe it wouldn't be that hard to do in Paladin. Because all you'd have to do... Maybe I have an idea for Paladin. Who would have thought? Probably not the best class for it. Probably the funniest class, but... yeah, using like Badlands Spirit to just keep getting you endless copies of the Clown by running a low minion count and then using a bunch of token generating cards. I think there's enough of them in Standard right now. Huh. Maybe that'll be what we'll try. All right, let's use the orb. I think this should be GG. And if it isn't, be close. Yeah, let's go. They flew a little bit too close to the sun, I think. Because we're about to get a bit melodramatic in here, and bye-bye. All right, now that we're through the game, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, I wish I could say this deck was good, but it is. There's a reason why this got delayed from Friday till Monday. Overall, this is a deck that I had a really, really good game with it, and I forgot to record it. But I ended up getting a lot of other good replays trying to recapture that one game. And overall, if you're looking for a deck that encompasses the old playstyle of Freeze Mage, this is a decent deck for you to try out, but the deck really does feel like it is missing one card from being very meta relevant. It turns out if you have a lot of ways to freeze your opponent right now out of the game, where there are a lot of weapon-based decks and wide board decks, this deck can actually hold pretty well. It just needs some bigger direct damaging than Sunset Volley, which is weird to say since this is so strong in Tendril decks. But like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.